A beautiful start to the day. It is Thursday, October the 16th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Gotta tell you, just looking outside live, this is New Smyrna Beach, and sure, the surf is elevating. It's picking up. That's to be expected, as we had discussed these last couple of days, but it is so pretty outside. Let's take you over to another one of our tower cams. Let's take you over to the tourist district, see what's doing over that direction. Loading. And then she lets me down. All right. No input signal. Need to figure that out. At least downtown's not going to let me down. How pretty is that shot? Yes, sirree. It is gorgeous out, isn't it? There's a live look in downtown Orlando. We are looking pretty. All right. First warning, live radar this morning. Scanning the skies, not finding anything whatsoever. It is, my friends, a beautiful morning. Here's a look at the temperatures. Yesterday, we did not get into the 50s in Marion County. That has changed. We are now there. It's 57 in Ocala. We are looking so nice. 61 in the Villages. It's 62 in Leesburg and about 66 in Orlando. So, looking good, feeling good. Checking in on the airport delays. We are gorgeous. Look at that. Five delayed flights. That's fine. We can handle that. Day planner forecast today. Look at that. I mean, a sprinkle or two here or there, but it is gorgeous. Yeah. Lots of sunshine. 81 our noon temperature. 83 degrees will be our high temperature. Nikki says, "Good morning. You're off today. Thought your new schedule was Friday and Saturday off." Yes, except I'm working this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, so I get Thursday and Friday off. Um, I love Kellyanne, and I miss Kellyanne. You should also know that with no Kellyanne, we're just, to get vacations and stuff staggered. We're gonna, there's gonna be some days where we're gonna have to work some odd schedules. So that's that. My entire holiday schedule got fakakta. So I'm gonna be off a couple of days next week. It's just trying to look. We're all just trying to take our days. And no hatred against Kellyanne at all. We weren't expecting her to leave. So because of that, we're just kind of putting it all together. So anyway, if you don't know already, I miss you, Kellyanne. We'll have to get her back on, by the way. We'll have to get her on Coffee Talk, check in and see what's doing in the world of Kellyanne class. So anyway, all right. So beautiful weather today. Let's just take a look at our forecast highs for today. And then we can move on to the tropics. Mid 80s in Orlando, Ocala, upper 70s for Palm Coast. The rest of us low to mid 80s. So yeah, it's looking very nice out there. Futurecast, let's dial that up. Here we are. Had a couple sprinkles this morning, maybe a sprinkle or two later on today, but really and truly, the overall forecast package is trending drier for us today. So take a look at the overall setup, right? Today, tomorrow, maybe a sprinkle, right? Otherwise, it's just gorgeous out. The outlook this weekend actually looking better. I mean, Sunday's going to be a toasty one, but still mornings in the 60s, so we can't complain about that. All right. We'll get back to our local forecast in just a little bit, but I do want to move and change gears and take a look at the tropics because there's something to talk about there. We were discussing this yesterday and the day before, but out to the tropical satellite we go. And, we've got the remnants of Lorenzo, the remnants of Jerry. There is no development expected over the next 7 days' time. That said, though, bottom right corner of your screen there is a low rider wave. And that low rider wave is something to see over the next few days. Yeah. I see this morning's weather had a 100% chance of moron. Several of them the road this morning. Don't know they are allowed out until after 7 a.m. Ooh, Oliver's feisty today. Somebody made you mad, Oliver. Sorry about that. Well, hopefully we'll get you in a better mood with coffee talk. All right, so no development over the next 7 days' time. However, looking just beyond that, the Caribbean is a spot to watch. So let's definitely watch. Kim says, not Halloween week, we will be at Disney. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. This is before Halloween, okay? Just before Halloween. So let's do this then. Let's take a look at the raw computer models, all right? I don't know why it's defaulting to the wrong parameter. I'll have to go in and fix that. All right, so we'll just roll through time here and look in the Caribbean. This is the American GFS model. Not mad, sadly, used to it. I'm good. Cheers. Okay. All right, just want to make sure you're good. I want to help you. If you need a hug, I got to be here to hug you. All right. So this is Wednesday of next week. So let's just fast forward to Thursday of next week. So that's the 23rd. That's a week from today. South of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, a little something developing, lifting. That's 985 millibars. The tropical storm, hurricane, something to that effect, recurving and staying out to sea. Now, that is a big shift over yesterday. Let's go. That's the 6Z. Let's go to the 0Z. Same kind of idea. Let's go back. Let's look at the 18Z. Same idea. So we've started to see this trend of the GFS. Basically, look how north of Florida, you see the blues across the I-95 corridor there? That's cold front. So the cold front is going to pick this up, at least according to the GFS, pick it up and loop it out to sea, right? That's the 18Z yesterday. Let's look at the 12Z yesterday. All right. So we've seen 4 consecutive model runs of the GFS developing something, picking it up, and looping it out to sea. Love that. Let's look over to the European model. Okay. There's something in the Caribbean. That's as far as the 6Z goes. Remember, the 6Z and the 18Z don't go out as far in the Euro, so we have to just go with the 0 and the 12s. But this is the 0Z. And watch, there's the front along the I-95 corridor next Friday. But because this is weaker and further south, it misses the front according to the European model, and thus gets a little closer to us. That's the 0Z. Let's go to the 12Z. The 12Z, it misses the front completely and ends up coming to us. Now, obviously, that has shifted. That was the 12Z yesterday. The 0Z has it kind of trending a little more east of us. I point all of this out, and we're going to look at the ensembles, but I point all of this out simply to say that there is something that's going to be in the vicinity that we are going to want to watch, right? So I want you to make sure to keep dialed into that, all right? Makes sense. All right, let's look at the ensembles, shall we? But if you're unfamiliar, before we go in, so the ensembles, think of the ensembles like 30 flavors of the GFS or 50 flavors of the Euro. Basically, it takes the GFS once it's run and then it reruns it with slightly different characteristics. Think of them as mini models. So that's what we're going to look at for the ensembles. Put that aside. Dan's asking a great question. 0Z, 12Z, please explain. Yeah, great question. So Zulu time. One of the things, I've got a pilot's watch. Here. On the pilot's watch, look at the time. You see 8:10, and then right below it, you see UTC 12:10. UTC, Universal Time Coordinated, also known as Zulu time, also known as Greenwich Mean Time. In an environment like computer modeling, or when I do aviation, in an environment in aviation, everybody needs to know what the time is no matter where you are in the world. It could be different time zones, etc. So we all use UTC or GMT or Zulu time. So the models run at every 6 hours based on Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu time. So I reference that just to let you know the version of the model. That's all it is. It's when did the model run? Okay, so that's that. All right. To the GFS ensembles we go, right? And this is Saturday of this weekend. Watching the Caribbean, starting to see some of the ensemble members coming alive with something in the Caribbean. There's no specificity as to where, right? Dan says, thank you. Of course, my friend. Of course. Chris, oh, see, Chris Pierce with the great perspective. See, this is why I need you guys, because you give me the ability to do my job better. Chris, the deterministic model is the ice cream. Each of the models are add-ins, right? It's kind of like you take your base, the ice cream, and then what are you going to do with it? Well, we'll put a little sprinkles. We'll do this, we'll do that, right? Yeah. All right. So anyway, really great perspective, analysis or way to explain it. Chris, I appreciate you, buddy, as always. All right, so there's the GFS ensembles for next Friday, showing something in the Caribbean trying to develop. Where? It's too early. Betty says, funny how Star Trek introduced Zulu time to the nation of viewers. So I grew up on Star Trek. I don't remember that. I'm sure they did. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Spock had his E6B out for goodness sake. So the vast majority of the GFS ensembles want to keep it out east of us. Now, there's some that want to bring it a little closer, but the vast majority of ensemble members keep this away. This is not 70 different tropical storms or hurricanes, right? But instead, this is different models' take on what would happen. Now, the timeline. When is the timeline? Well, that's October 25th, October 26th, October 27th, October 28th. So before Halloween, right? That's the timeline that we're looking at for this. Laura says my birthday is next week. Please, in need of cool and sunny weather. We'll work on it. All right. So anyway, so that's where we're looking at there on the GFS ensemble. Let's re-rack it back and let's pull up the European ensemble. Okay. And we have to go to the 0Z, remember, because it's further out. Okay, but notice the Caribbean. We have some things showing up there. That's next Saturday, October 25th. Graybird on YouTube says the ensemble map is unsettling. It's a lot. We don't show that on the air. But on a venue like this where we're online, we're discussing this in a more digital forward mentality. I think that it gives us the ability to really dial into the data. This is what we're looking at as meteorologists. So the way I look at Coffee Talk, and for anybody that's new, when you're on TV, that's our presentation, right? That's when we try to be concise. We try to tell the weather story. When we're here on social media, this is like when a doctor, I'm not a doctor, but like I liken it to when a doctor makes their rounds. If you're in the hospital and the doctor makes their rounds, and they pull the little card up and they're like, all right, let me show you, and he's showing you stuff and you don't understand it. But as the doctor explains it, you're like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try and pretend to be somebody that literally saves lives. But what I'm trying to do is peel back the curtain on the science of meteorology, on the science of data analysis, and I'm trying to share it with you. So that's the way I like it. I'm making the rounds and we're looking at the data together. That's the way I look at it, right? I could be completely off, but in my mind, in my own little silo of brain, the two little brain cells that are left, that's where we're at. So anyway, all right. This is next Saturday. Carrie's right. It's like seeing all the possibilities at once. They're not all going to happen, but one or two of them may. Well, and it lets you know if they're wide out, there's a wide variety of possibilities. If they're a little tighter, then the possibilities are a little closer in, right? All right. So Euro is definitely, it looks like the Euro is a little less sure of things, right? Like there's a couple of them wanting to move into the Gulf. The majority of everything is going east of town, but there, it's not all away from us, I guess I would say. So that's, to me, the key that I'm looking at here is definitely watching this wave, right? Definitely watching this wave. The fact that all the ensemble members on the models are really trying to show something. Let's look at the Euro AI while we're at it here. Oh, wrong parameter. Stand by. Pressure. No. Oh, Euro AI ensemble. Excuse me. There we go. All right. So the Euro AI ensemble is still running. So this is as far as it's run currently. But it's showing that's 8 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday, October 28th, which is 0Z. Jeannie Rowan says, $20, it's going away. Look, I'm fine with that. I'm going to neither take or not take that bet. I mean, I'm hoping that it doesn't come here. You just don't know how this plays out. Look at the Euro AI. This is the 0Z. Look how far west it is versus the current 6Z. So if you just look at the trend from this is the 0Z, one model run back. Here's the current run there. It's shifted a little further east, which would, if you follow that trend, if that is in fact a trend, it would be picked up and pulled away from us. So, you're still talking. I mean, this is Wednesday, October 29th. Today is Thursday, October 16th. So you're talking almost 2 weeks out, right? So models are going to windshield wiper back and forth. They're going to ebb. They're going to flow. We are not dialed in any way, shape, or form to this. So don't, I wouldn't be worried about this. Instead, I would just know that the science, the dynamics are there. And thus, that's why this is an area for us to watch next week. That's the area that has been highlighted for us to watch next week, right? The Caribbean. Outside of that, we get into any more specificity. We're not there. We're not there. So we'll watch it. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Right? Questions, comments, concerns. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns, my friends? How we doing? Are we good? Dan says, I hope it goes away. My friend, I do as well. I have no interest in having to deal with that. Just as there are dozens of factors that affect tropical cyclone development, meteorologists use lots of data to develop forecasts, Chris says. Correct. Yeah. I don't know how else to send you a request, Andy says. So I sent a DM to your personal Facebook account. I'd love for you to come out to our Civil Air Patrol unit in DeLand and talk about how weather affects aviation. So, Andy, I don't really use my personal Facebook. I don't really use except to literally connect to my professional. Andy, I will tell you this. You clearly behind me, like aviation is a thing. Aviation is a thing for me. Um, can you shoot me an email? I would love to come and talk to you guys. Heck, I'll fly my airplane over. Although it's such a short hop. I keep the airplane at Sanford. But I would love to, yes, I would absolutely love to do that. So if you could, Andy, shoot me an email. It is eburris at Hearst.com. eburris at Hearst.com. I would love, love, love. All right, back to the weather. Frank's asking, any chance it doesn't develop? Sure, there's a chance it doesn't develop. Of course, there's a chance it doesn't develop. Let's just look at, the dynamics, right? Like, watch the GFS, with this wide shot, it kind of gives us a really nice. So there it is developing on the GFS, but let's backtrack it. Try and keep your eyes on where it was, right? Like it's just off the coast of Africa now. So if you look, it's that wave that's just off the coast of Africa that we're watching. Is there a possibility it doesn't develop? Yeah. Kevin, what is the gut feeling at this point? I think it's probably something's going to get going. Where does it eventually go? It's too early, man. Kevin, gut feelings, understand I'm a student of science. What we do here is we share data, but I'm still a student of science, and everything is based on that information. So Climatologically, if you look climatologically, and I made this, stand by. So, climatologically, let's talk about this. This is where systems form during late October, right? This is every start to a storm mid to late October. I did this week. Sure, there's a few out here, not a ton. Where is the vast majority of that? It's right there, right? Yeah. And it makes sense. Climatologically, this is where we see formation, the Caribbean, the Gulf, and they like to recurve. Why do they like to recurve? It's not because we like systems and storms here in Florida, because that is the absolute opposite. It's because cold fronts are starting this time of year and they kind of pick things up, right? So that's where that comes in. All right. I hope that helps a little bit. I hope that helps a little bit. Let's see here. Hoping my secret ritual I have been using all year to keep hurricanes away. Oh, what? That it continues to work? Yeah, you and me both. All right, let's talk about Florida tropical systems. All right. During October. Now, this is going to drive me crazy, and I'm just going to be, I've only. So I'm working on a couple of different graphics right now. Ignore this. This is I'm working on the new river graphic. This is what I've got so far. Ignore the I'm working on a new anyway, you don't need to know that. I'm working on stuff. But that Florida spinning hurricane, that's going to drive me crazy. So let me just fix this. Why are you in the scene layer? Okay. But we're not going to do that. Hold on a second. Perfect. That way, the spinning. It's the spinning that was like, what is happening here? All right. Perfect. Save you. Okay. What that graphic was illustrating though is great data, right? So last year had Milton, been quiet. Hopefully that continues. But yeah, watching kind of the development areas this time of year, it is usually the Caribbean for development this time of year. And then by the way, for November, just for argument's sake, um, same idea. There's November. Obviously, fewer systems form, but where's the vast majority of that development? Yeah, definitely around Central America. Boy, we've grown. Lots of new people. Indeed. We could definitely narrow it down to anywhere. Yeah, I know. Just like hornets, you never know which one will sting. Yeah, ain't that the truth? So that's what we're watching in the tropics. Right now, there are no named systems, but most importantly, there is no development expected over the next couple of days' time. All right. Jan, where did you get the river level data from? I mean, there's data that's out there, right? It, the tide gauges and the river gauges. All right, so that's kind of where we're at in terms of the tropics. Back here at home, I mean, this is gorgeous. Tara says, great job on the new graphics. Loving them. Thank you. Just a lot of work. We got the graphics package on the air, but now it's just kind of building it all out. Mike, I seem to remember that the last time we checked the MJO, it was active late October, or I made that up. Well, we can dial that up. Oceanic Atlantic Basin. All right. So here's the Madden Julian oscillation. That's the 22nd. The Caribbean kind of goes in phase. Yeah. And then we're out of phase. This MJO has just not gone in phase. But you notice around the 28th, 29th, it goes in phase in the Caribbean. And that's when we have the opportunity to see development, right? That ties directly into it. Yeah. Right? Hallelujah, fewer storms and none expected. Yeah, I mean this is a stunning 7-day forecast. This is stunning, is what this is. Uh, Demon Matt, hey bud, always watch you, and I live in West Palm Beach. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching. Also, I used to live in my first on-air job was in West Palm. It was at WPBF. Chris is asking, when do we usually hit the 50s overnight in Orlando? I can show you on the old graphics package. Cold season here. Average start is November 5th. So there you go. This is a graphic I have to still make. We're working on it, okay? There's just so many graphics to build. Brian Tittle. Hey, buddy. So to summarize, what you're saying is something may happen, something may not. That's it's kind of always the vibe, right? Yeah. It'll be stunning when there's no 80s. Yeah. Listen, as Matt has said so eloquently, fall is a process. Tim, oh my eyes, old graphics are. I mean, it's not that they're ugly, they're just not. Listen, when we built them, right? Like, here's the 7 day. Like, when we built these things, look at that. That was gorgeous. It says ignore that it's higher surfer appearance. It just says, but like when we built that, that was the bee's knees, y'all. Like that was stunning. No, we didn't see nothing like that before. You know. So to go from that to these are much more technologically advanced on the back end, and on the front end, they're gorgeous. I mean, they are gorgeous. Right down to the like blurry Orlando, like I love like look at the background. I know this is silly, but like that bar that blurs downtown Orlando, like that's gorgeous to me. Stunning, right? Anyway, I'm a nerd. I get it. All right, questions, comments, concerns, my friends. What do you have? Airborne allergens this week? I mean, as we're drying out for sure. Debbie's asking, did Brian Tittle go to the dark side with Chris Pierce? Oh, what on Twitter? Where did Brian? No, Brian came in on Facebook. His comment was on Facebook. Tanya says, I just made a fresh cup of coffee. Puts down for a minute. Puts this. Yeah, I swallowed a bug. Oh, got it. Coastal 7 day forecast. Sure. All right, coastal 7 day forecast. I mean, that's nice there too. That's really nice, right? Yeah. Yep. Sunday looks like it will be a good boat day. I would simply say if you're talking about doing a boating thing, I would simply say if you're talking about doing a boating thing, the oceans have picked back up just a little bit. Okay. Now that said, we've got a lot of events going on around town, right? Like for example, high school football. Looking great. Dr. Phillips and Edgewater, comfortable stuff. We've got this weekend that come out with Pride Parade in downtown Orlando. Looking gorgeous. It's going to be a warm one, though. And then, of course, if you're a Gator fan, I am not, although I am. I did do meteorology from Mississippi State, so like I personally, I'm always cheering for any team that plays against the Gators. I know, I know. Half of you guys love the Gators. I know. I'm really going to be cheering for Mississippi State, but I digress. Looking great for that, right? And then, of course, we've got this I'll be at, and I cannot wait for this one. UCF, it's West Virginia coming to town. I'm doing the alumni band. I'll be playing baritone. So if you're at the game, if you're at the game, I'll be the guy with the that's pre-taking the Tylenol because my back's gonna be killing me. Looks great. Big old brim hat needed. Big old brim hat needed. Sunscreen. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. It's just a stunning one. And then, for those of you that are doing the Biketoberfest thing, yeah, Biketoberfest looking gorgeous here, right? Not Bike Week, Biketoberfest, but yes, I mean that's looking fantastic. Also, can I just add, when I was doing all of these backgrounds, like that's an AI generated background. Most of these background photos, when I went into to purchase the stock photos, like people, it a lot of these are AI generated, so that's crazy to me. Do you know what's not? I think I've told you this. The one I can guarantee that's not an AI generated background, I'll show you. This one. That's the one that I know is not AI generated because I took that picture. Because it's my airplane. Okay. It could be worse. They could be playing UCF playing in the kitty house. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look, just because we don't have an old dumpy. No, I could trash talk my brother another day. Mm. It needs missiles and machine guns. It's too close for missiles. We're switching to guns. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Could we get a sample of a baritone? So, listen, I haven't played baritone in forever and a day. So, yeah. 4 years of high school band was enough. Enjoy the halftime. Yeah, my back will be hurting carrying a baritone, but it is what it is. When I do the high school alumni band, I carry the euphonium. That hurts. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Questions, comments, concerns. How we doing? Questions? Anything? Anything at all? Bluey, the ghosted woman. That's right. All right. That's all I've got. Listen, thank you all for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Catherine says, "Oh no, Eric, we're longtime Gator fans through the good and the bad." I get it. I'm a longtime UCF fan through the good and the bad. It's okay. I only also say it like I feel like college football. We can blast each other. It's all good fun, right? It's fun. I'm not one of those guys that's like, "No, down with the game." It's fine. It's fine. It's all fun. I love it all. I just have to tease. Are we under burn restrictions? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't checked, but we're just coming out of the rainy season, so it's not a huge concern. And Lawrence is asking any rocket launches. We had one this morning, so there will be another one. All right. All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you all later.